there, my name's Leanne Tessier de Silva and welcome to your 60-minute Vinyasa class. This is a prop-free class, although you're more than welcome to use an additional blanket if you have any knee sensitivities throughout this class at all, and of course you can always use that for your Shavasana at the end as well. Hope you enjoy. We'll get started in a comfortable child's pose at the very beginning. So when you're ready, bring yourself all the way down to child's pose. That can be with your knees as wide as your mat or even wider, or your knees could be touching as you reach your fingertips all the way forward towards the front of your mat. Allow your head to be super heavy, maybe even resting the forehead against the mat. Take a slight rock of your body side to side so that you start to feel a side stretch into your lower back, rib cage, armpits. Before allowing yourself to settle in the centre, maybe add a slight bend in your arms just to relax them at the very beginning. Take a deep breath here, all the way into your lower back. With an open mouth, let it all the way go out my mouth. Deep breath in. All the way out. Last breath here. Deep inhale into your lower back. Let it all the way go. Allow yourself here to just start connecting in with your breath as you switch your breath to breathing in and out by nose. Notice the slightly cooler air as you breathe in through your nose. How the air is warmer as you exhale out by nose. Allow your tummy to expand between or across your thighs each time you breathe in. Each time you exhale, your stomach softens. You might also notice your lower back rising and falling in time with your breath. Child's pose is a restorative posture which you can come to at any time in the practice. Remember, you can adopt this pose at any point. Keep on breathing in and out by nose, but reach your hands slightly more actively towards the front of the mat. Remove the bend in the elbows and maybe come up onto the tips of all 10 fingers, straightening and stretching your arms so that you start to open out through your armpits. Here again, you might start to add that sway of your hips and torso from side to side. Maybe if your forehead touches the floor, you allow it to be massaged and rolled across the mat. Good. From here, release yourself all the way back down. Your palms are now flat to the mat. Take a moment here to walk your elbows back towards your knees. Lift them up ever so slightly, or lift yourself up ever so slightly so that you come into your forearms here. On your next inhale, press through your right hand, send the left hand high up towards the sky. Lift your left fingertips all the way up towards the ceiling. Good. Feel that nice stretch and opening as you actively push through your right forearm and lift up through your left fingers. Exhale, left fingertips come all the way down. We swap over sides. Inhaling, right hand reaches, it lifts all the way to the ceiling. You're actively pushing up and out of your left shoulder, your left forearm. Exhale, bring your hands all the way back down to center. And then from here, bring your hands not forward, closer towards your knees. Separate your knees even wider if it's comfortable to do so, and allow yourself here to bring your hands just further beyond your knees. On your next inhale, you're pressing your hips forward so they come almost in line or maybe even slightly beyond your knees. Exhale, your hips come back down towards your feet. Inhale, rock your hips forward. Exhale, send your hips back. Good, 2 more like this. As we start to open out through the very front of the hips and pelvis, an area that gets quite tight when we take large periods of sitting. Good, nicely done. We'll make this next one here, our last one here. Bring your hips forward, tuck your toes under, bring your knees underneath your hips. Let's walk our hands now so that they're underneath our shoulders as we come into cat-cows. Take an inhale here and lower your belly. Lift your gaze gently forward. On your exhale, round through your spine and tuck your chin all the way in towards your chest, allowing your head to be heavy at the end. Inhale, lower the belly, unfurl the gaze gently forward. Exhale, round through the spine, tuck chin all the way in towards your chest. We're taking 2 more like this. Good. Starting to do this in your own time and your own pace, although you'll be roughly following along. It doesn't matter if you're a few moments behind me. Perfect. We'll end in our cat stretch here. Take a moment here to actively push through your hands a little bit more and just keeping your cat stretch, your nice arch back. Rock your hips forward and rock them back a few times. You should feel yourself opening a little bit more into your shoulders, the very back of your neck here. We have 2. Lovely. Last one here. Nicely done. Let's release ourselves all the way back to an all fours position and take your right ear all the way over to your right shoulder. You're creating a deep stretching sensation all the way along the left hand side of your neck. You can either stay here working on just the neck, or you can start to include the whole spine by bringing your left rib cage beyond the edge of your left hand side of your mat. So you're creating a big C shape with your spine here, pushing through your hands to really start to stretch that side body here for 2. Last breath here. Exhale out by nose, come all the way back through centre. Take a moment just to feel the effects of the stretch. This is called a salamander exercise. And on your next exhale, bring your left ear to your left shoulder. This time your right rib cage pushes all the way over to the right hand side of the mat. And you keep on actively pushing to elongate, to create that reverse, that mirror-shaped C, capital C shape here. For 3. For 2. Last breath here, come all the way back through centre. From here, I'd like you to tuck your toes under and hover your knees 1 inch or maybe even 2 off the floor. At this point, spread your fingertips wide, grip your fingertips into the mat and hold for 3 breaths. Hold for 2. Exhale, push your hips all the way back up towards the ceiling. Find your downward facing dog. Keeping your downward facing dog, your knees really bent to begin. Push through your hands a couple of times so that your chest comes ever so slightly closer towards your thighs. And then start to bend one knee and stretch the back of the opposite leg. Good, so you pedal out your feet one by one. You might start to add a twist as you do this as well. So as you bend one knee, why not gaze underneath the opposite armpit? As you then straighten that knee and bend the opposite, take the gaze over underneath the other underarm. Good. And then from here, come all the way back through centre, bend your knees a lot, walk your hands back towards your feet. Good. Separate your feet a little bit wider than hip width apart, ready almost to be in the squat position. Instead, allow your chin to curl down towards your chest, allow your spine to fold, and just allow yourself to be super heavy in this position. You should feel a bit of an opening across the back of the ankles and calves. Maybe here we nod our head yes, or even shake it no. Just let the head be heavy and loose. From here, take your hands and make them into tight fists and start to just roll out your wrists in one direction. And then just take them in the other direction as well, as we start to just warm them up here. Perfect. Staying in your squat, bring your spine into a more upright position. I want you to take your now and make them into tight fists. Then I want you to splay your fingers as wide as possible. Back into fists as wide as possible. And then keep on going. In fact, keep on going for about 30 to 60 seconds, as long as you can handle it, to start to warm up the forearms. This might look absolutely ridiculous, but you'll start to notice probably around now that it's starting to really not hurt, but you're feeling the effects of it essentially. You're starting to warm up the muscles of the hands, warm up the forearms for 3. Might be a bit less than 60 seconds, my apologies if it is, for 2. Good. Last one here, shake out the wrists and then take your fingertips down to the ground, send your hips up towards the ceiling. Let's find our ragdoll position. Doesn't matter if your fingertips don't comfortably touch the floor here, but do take a nice bend of your knees so that your hands get as close to the floor as possible. You can sway your body side to side if that works for you. Allow your lower back to release a bit. Or you can sway your weight forward and back in your feet so that we open out through the backs of the legs. Either way, where you are, bend your knees, bring yourself back through centre, bring your tummy button to connect to your spine. Start to roll yourself up slowly. Take all the time you need as you very gently start to rise on up. Bring yourself all the way up to standing. You'll need now to walk all the way towards the front of your mat and bring yourself into your mountain pose, your Tadasana. Take some time here to roll the shoulders up towards your ears and then allow them to settle all the way down your back. Maybe doing this once more. Stand tall in your Tadasana pose. Root through your feet, maybe even choosing to lift all 10 of your toes and then placing your 5th toe down. Your 4th, 3rd, 2nd, and 1st. Maybe we'll try that one more time. Lift all 10 toes off from the mat. 5th, 4th, 3rd, 2nd, big toe ground through the mat. As you stand tall in Tadasana, I now invite you to close your eyes. Or you can always focus on just one point on the floor beneath you. Engage through your thighs so that you feel your kneecaps lift up as your quadriceps engage. That's the front of your thighs. Lightly squeeze your glutes together so that you feel strong and sturdy in the whole lower part of your body. Engage the core by drawing the belly button in towards the spine and start to feel as though you're lengthening up from the very middle of your belly, just above your navel. Reach your hands actively down by your side so that you pull your shoulders away from your ears. Take a moment here to notice how you're standing, your strong stance at the beginning of your practice. And yoga is a practice for many reasons, and it has benefits beyond the physical. Whatever your intention is for this class, the reason why you're here, hold that reason here in your mind's eye. What do you intend to get out of this class? Hold those 2 things close to you as you continue to focus in on your breath, breathing in and out by nose. Gently on your next exhale, open out the eyes, come back into the room and take the gaze just beyond the edge of your nose. Inhale, sweep your hands out super wide to the side. Stretch your fingers almost so that they graze the walls either sides. Lift your fingertips up towards the ceiling. Exhale here, bend your knees, hinge from the hips. Allow your fingertips to eventually graze the ground. Let your head be heavy at the end so you see whatever is behind you through your thighs. Inhale, take it in, halfway lift. Lengthen your spine. Have a nice straight spine all the way from the crown of your head to the very base of your seat. Exhale here, we bend forward fold. Hands now come flat into the mat and we step back to a plank position, which we're going to be holding for a couple of breaths. So your feet can be hip width apart here, and you want to make sure that your hips are roughly in line with your shoulders. Fingertips are gripping into the mat as we hold, but we don't hold our breath. We continue to breathe for 3, for 2. Last one here, knees lower to the floor, let's untuck our toes. From here, shift your body weight forward, bend your elbows and lower down to a half chaturanga. We're coming down in a completely straight line. Once your chest touches the floor, inhale, squeeze your shoulders, peel your chest off the floor, find your cobra. Exhale, push back, child's pose. Actively reach your fingertips to the front of the mat, take a sway at the hips from side to side. And then if your toes aren't tucked under, tuck them now. Exhale, downward facing dog, your upside down V shape. Have that slight bend in the knees, push through the hands so that the chest comes nice and close to your thighs, and maybe pedal out the feet one by one by one. Let's look forward to the front of the mat now. Step, walk, or maybe take a hop to the front. Exhale, we forward fold. Bend your knees with a straight spine. Inhale, rise all the way up to standing. Reach fingertips all the way up towards the ceiling. Exhale, here we forward fold. Hinging from the hips, allow your fingertips to touch the ground. Head is heavy. Inhale, halfway lift. Elongate your spine, straighten your legs. Energy through the crown of the head. Exhale, here we bend forward fold. Step yourself back to a plank position. We hold once again. I like the holds in my plank, so we're going to be here for a couple more breaths. Think about squeezing your glutes together, particularly if you feel a little bit of sensation in your lower back or any collapse there for 2. Last one here, knees lower, toes untucked. Again, we rock the body weight forward and the elbows, they bend to the back of the room as we exhale, lower, half chaturanga. Inhale, squeeze your shoulders, peel your chest off the floor. Find your cobra. Exhale, push back, child's pose. On your next couple of breaths, in your own time, find your way back to downward facing dog. Keep on breathing in and out by nose for 3. For 2. Last breath here. Let's look forward to the front of the mat. Step, walk, or maybe bend your knees and take a hop all the way towards the front of the mat. Exhale, here we bend forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. So hands on shins, once again, nice straight spine. I want you here to think about squeezing your glutes together. Exhale, here we bend forward fold. Bend your knees, squeeze your glutes. Inhale, raise your chest up to chair pose. In any chair pose that we take, hands can either be in front, like this on the diagonal, or they can be in front of your chest. We then focus on sitting deep into our hips. So can we bend the knees a little bit more? Can we shift the hips back a little bit further for 3? We're still breathing in and out by nose for 2. Good, last breath here. Exhale, here we bend forward fold. Inhale, take a halfway lift, long spine, straightish legs. Exhale, here we bend forward fold. Step back to plank. Knees lower, toes untucked. Exhale, lower half chaturanga. Unless full chaturanga is in your practice, you can feel free to transition through this instead. On your inhale, everyone come up to cobra. Good. From here, we take our hands slightly wider than the mat. Allow your head to come all the way down towards the ground. Imagine someone is now pulling you up from the nape of your neck, so the very base of it. Chin is close to chest until you rise. No, you can't rise any further, and then your head looks forward. There is slight weight in your hands. You lead with your throat as you come all the way back down to the floor. Head becomes neutral at the end. Inhale, we pull ourselves up. From the bottom of our neck, we unfurl. Exhale, we lower down. And the next couple of times that you do this, you might take progressively more weight into your hands to help to lift yourself up even higher. Good. Last one here. This time take your hands underneath your shoulders, tuck your toes under. See if you can go straight back from the floor to downward facing dog. Take a deep breath in by nose here. Exhale, sigh it all the way out by mouth. Deep breath in. Sigh it out. Last one here. Look forward now to the front of the mat. Step, walk, or maybe take a hop all the way towards the front. Exhale here, we forward fold. Bend your knees, inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale here, we bend forward fold. Bend your knees a lot, inhale, rise up to chair pose. Now, to a lot of American teachers, we refer to this as thunderbolt. You can definitely see from the shape here, I'm like a Harry Potter scar. I want you to think about bending your knees and sitting a little bit deeper. Thunderbolt as well definitely associates with the amount of energy required for this posture. It shouldn't be easy. Can we sit that a little bit lower for 2? It should be firing us up and increasing our internal body heat as we work harder for 2. Good, last one here. Shift the weight towards your right foot. Take the left foot off the floor ever so slightly and then step it all the way back with control, finding your tiptoes of your left foot to a high lunge position. Lift your fingertips all the way up towards the ceiling. Straighten that back leg as much as possible. Lift fingertips to the sky so it's active so that you reach for 2. Last one here. Exhale, back foot down. You open out your hips to the left-hand side as your right hand comes forward, your left hand behind. We take our gaze over our right fingers here and make sure that your shoulders are relaxed away from the ears for 3. Maybe bending a little bit deeper into that right knee for 2. We make this next one here our last one here. Flip your right palm so it faces towards the ceiling. Inhale, reach it all the way forwards and the right fingertips directly up to the sky. Left fingertips can come and find the inside crease of your right hip as you find your reverse warrior. Keep on actively reaching with the right fingertips. Maybe they splay because they're trying to reach so actively for 2. Great, last one here. Exhale, come all the way back, warrior 2. I'd like you now to straighten your front leg mindfully. Inhale, reach forward with that right hand. Take your fingertips down to the inside of the right thigh. Lift left hand up towards the ceiling. We find our triangle pose. So your hands, your arms create one long straight line all the way from towards the floor to towards the ceiling. You should feel stretching to the inside of the right thigh for 2. Nice, last one here. Exhale, bring yourself back. Legs are both straight. Flip the right palm. Inhale, reverse your triangle. Reach those right fingertips up to the sky like a flagpole for 3. Reach and lift up and up your hips for 2. Gorgeous, last one here. Bring your hands in front of your chest and turn yourself to take a quarter turn to the left-hand side of your mat. Both of your feet are in parallel with the short edge. Inhale, lengthen your spine, lift your hands in prayer all the way up towards the ceiling. Exhale here, separate the hands. We then fold forward, hinging from the hips, and allow our hands to come down to the ground or to our thighs. Take a moment here to either press into your shins, your thighs, or the ground as you inhale and look forward. Notice how I'm lifted up as I do this. I'm keeping the gaze just beyond the edge of the mat. Exhale here, I'm then taking the gaze all the way to the back wall as I forward fold. Inhale, take a halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, wide leg forward fold. Good. From here, bend your knees a lot. Think about bringing your tummy button connection into your spine. Take your hands to your hips and lever yourself all the way upright, keeping your knees bent here. Now I'd like you to turn your toes out so they face to 10 o'clock and 2 o'clock on the clock and bring your hands in front of your chest. This is known as goddess pose here, and you should feel the inner thighs starting to work. Bend your knees, sit that a little bit deeper. Good. Can we start to make sure that the knees track the line of the toes? Maybe thinking about squeezing our glutes to open out the knees a little bit wider. You can stay here, or you can take your hands up and above your head to start to challenge your balance for 3. Good. Press down through the whole of the foot for 2. Nice. Last one here. Raise your heels off the floor. Just a little bit, just so that you start to feel that quiver, that shudder around your ankles for 3. Good, for 2. Lovely, last one here. Gently release your heels all the way down to the ground and then bend your knees even more. Sit yourself all the way back up to standing. Perfect. We'll then take a quarter turn to face towards the front of the room. Inhale, hands up alongside the ears. Exhale, they reach down either side of our right foot. We step all the way back to a plank position. You can take the vinyasa if you're choosing. I'll continue to be demonstrating our half chaturanga, lowering the knees to the floor, exhaling, lowering down, half chaturanga. Inhale up to cobra or upward facing dog. If you are taking upward facing dog, you're pressing through the hands. The thighs come off the floor. We're on the tops of our feet and we're looking forward or maybe up to the ceiling. From here, lower your knees. Exhale, everyone come to child's pose. Couple of breaths here. In by nose, out by nose for 2. Last one here. Bring yourself all the way back to downward facing dog. I'm going to take a quarter turn to the back of my mat, but you can stay facing exactly the same way as you are. Let's take the gaze forward now to the front of the mat and step, walk or hop all the way towards the front. Exhale, here we then forward fold. Inhale, take that halfway lift, elongate your spine. Not quite straighten your legs, but you straighten them a little bit. Exhale, here we forward fold. Knees bend, glutes engage. Inhale, chair pose. Good, sit nice and deep in your hips. Shift the weight now towards your left foot. Take a big controlled step back. Nice and slowly, don't rush the transition, your back toes find the floor. Inhale, we raise the hands to the sky, we find our high lunge. Reach up actively with your fingertips up towards the ceiling, maybe look up towards the sky for 2. Great, last one here. Exhale, we find our warrior 2. Allow your knee to follow the line of your left toes. Press through the outside as well as the inside of the right foot. Gaze over your left fingertips and relax the shoulders away from the ears. Left palm flips towards the ceiling. Inhale, we reach forward, left hand to the sky. Right hand snakes behind your lower back to find the inside crook of your left hip. Reach up with your left middle fingers all the way to the ceiling for 2. Great, last one here. Exhale, here we find our warrior 2. You then straighten your front leg mindfully, so we're not snapping into a joint, it's a nice slow press. Inhale, reach forward with the left hand. Take that left hand down to the inside of the right thigh. Right hand reaches to the ceiling. We feel that stretching to the inside of the right thigh, but we get the side stretch from the right hand reaching to the sky. Exhale, come all the way back up to a more upright position. Flip your left palm. Inhale, send the left hand to the sky. Right hand slides its way not too far down your right leg. We feel that stretch coming into the inside of your left leg. Perfect. Take a moment here to relax your hands all the way back to shoulder height, hands coming in front of your chest. Good. Feet turn now to face over towards what will be the right side of the room for you. Take a moment here to inhale and lengthen your hands up towards the ceiling. Interlace the hands behind your back so you feel a deep connection here. You're taking the webbing of your finger to the opposite webbing of the other hand. Inhale, squeeze your shoulder blades together to lift your chest up to the ceiling and then start to hinge forward from the hips. Keeping your spine straight as possible and lengthening your hands away from your lower back. In your wide leg forward fold, let's focus on the arms here. Take an inhale and pull your hands away from your shoulders. Create space between the ear and your shoulders. Exhale here, see if you can release your hands any further away from your lower back, more towards the floor in front of you. Inhale, pull your hands away from your ears. Exhale, can you release the arms a little bit more? Last one here, inhale, pull your hands nice and high up. Exhale, can you release over the floor? On your next inhale, bring your hands down to your lower back. Inhale, pull yourself all the way up to standing. Release your hands and turn your feet in so that your heels face inwards, your toes face outward. We come into our second round here of goddess pose. Bend your knees, allow the knees here to follow the line of your toes. Sit nice and deep. We're going to be working into our ankle stability here. Inhale, raise your heels off the floor. You should immediately feel a tiny quiver here. I want you to sit a touch deeper in your knees if you feel it's possible. Make sure that you're as upright as possible here. So we're not hinging forward, we're nice and upright with our spine. Shoulders are pinned to our back. Nice. On your next inhale, gently lower your hips down that little bit further. Your heels just hover off the ground, a centimetre or so. Or can you then come up higher onto your toes? Inhale, lower your heels. Exhale, raise the heels. Inhale, lower. Exhale, raise. Last one here. Sit that little bit deeper in your nice bent knees. Come up as high as you can onto your toes. Embrace the quiver in your legs for 2. Last one here. Heels connect down to the floor. Straighten your legs on the inhale. Take a quarter turn towards the front of your mat. Inhale, raise your hands up towards the ceiling. Exhale, hands all the way down to frame your front foot. Let's step back to a plank. Take a vinyasa if you're choosing. I'm going to skip this one here to save my breath. We all meet in a child's pose, just a brief one here. Focusing back on our breath in and out by nose. You can always take a sigh out the mouth as a way of releasing the breath and as a way of resetting. But when you're ready, come back to your downward facing dog. Breathing in and out by nose. Good. Start to work a little bit now into our glute strength here. Take the weight into your right foot. Inhale, send your left leg high towards the sky. Instead of pointing your toes, flex your foot so that your heel is the highest part of your leg here. Keep that leg poker straight. As you inhale, draw the leg down towards the floor. It does not quite touch the floor. Exhale here, drive the straight leg all the way back up towards the ceiling. Inhale, lower the leg. Exhale, raise. Last one here, inhale, lower. And exhale, raise. From here, bend your knee a lot. Bring your foot nice and close in towards your glute and make wide, sweeping circles with your left knee. Just to open out through the hip here, a little bit of mobility. Perfect. We will then straighten the leg and square the hips back down to the mat. And exhale, draw your knee in towards your nose, your hairline, curve your spine. Your body weight comes forward. Hold here for 2. Hold here for 1. Lightly step your left foot in between your hands. Come onto your fingertips, runner's lunge. Lift the gaze forward. See if you can lift your stomach off of your thigh beneath it. And draw the weight into your left foot. Lift your right foot off the floor. Right knee to chest. Let's draw ourselves all the way up to standing. Take your time. There is zero rush whatsoever. Good. Stand nice and tall here. Either with your hands here in front of your chest, or if you prefer, you can always take your hands up above your head if you want to do a bit of an extra challenge here. Draw your knee nice and high, higher than your hip bone if possible. Flex the foot if possible. Then on your next exhale, drive that right leg back. So start to straighten it, start to pivot on your hips so that you come almost to a capital T-like position here as you come into your warrior 3. That back leg is nice and active, that foot is still flexed rather than pointed. And we're focusing on one point below us to keep our stability here for 3. For 2. Last one here. On your next inhale, draw your knee back all the way in towards your chest. Knee is nice and high. Let's extend that right leg long. Again, foot is nice and active. We're nice and straight in our spine. That leg is as high as possible without us leaning back. Stand up nice and tall here for 3. For 2. Last one here. Right knee comes back in towards your chest. Stand tall. From your knee in towards your chest, send your right foot all the way back with control. Slightly step it down on the floor with your foot at roughly 45 degrees. Exhale to warrior 2. We then flip our left palm, turn it towards the ceiling. Inhale, reach forward. Left hand goes to the sky. Right hand finds the inside crook of your left hip. Reach the fingertips up towards the ceiling for 3. Maybe bend into your left knee a little bit more for 2. Last one here. Exhale, bring your hands all the way back, warrior 2, before interlacing hands behind your back, webbing to webbing, just like we did before in our wide leg forward fold. Inhale, lengthen your spine. Exhale, bring your torso down to the inside of your left leg. Exhale, we come into our humble warrior. Again, we're lifting our hands as much as possible so that we lengthen our shoulders away from our neck. We're creating lots of space between the left ear and left shoulder. Engage through your core. Maybe sit that a little bit lower if the breath allows you to. What I mean by that is, are you breathing comfortably? If so, you might go a little bit deeper. If you're struggling with the breath though, maybe back off for 3. For 2. Last one here, exhale, pull yourself back up. Find your warrior 2. Perfect, flip your left palm. Once again, inhale, send it to the ceiling. Right hand comes behind you like a second, into a half bind, that's the words I'm looking for. And then exhale, windmill your hands all the way down so they frame your left foot. Step back to a plank position. Take a vinyasa if you wish to. I'm going to skip this one out just to catch my breath. But take your time and I'll meet you all the way back in child's pose. Again, I'm making a turn on my mat only for demonstration purposes. You can stay exactly where you are. We're breathing in and out by nose. Nice and fluidly, catching our breath for 3. For 2. The last one. Place your weight into your hands. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, this time we send the right leg high towards the sky. Squeezing the right glute to lift the right leg a little bit higher. Keeping that leg straight, bring on an inhale, your right leg all the way, almost to touch the ground. Actually, it could just come forward with your left foot. Exhale, come all the way back up towards the ceiling. Inhale, lower. 2 more. Exhale, lift. Good, now sit down. This is our last one here. Send the right leg all the way up towards the sky. Keep that foot flexed. Bend the knee so that the foot comes close in towards the glute. And make circles with your knee. In one direction. Nice big sweeping circles. Straighten the legs. Square the hips down to the mat. Exhale, draw the knee towards your nose, your hairline. Curve your spine. Body weight comes forward. Right foot steps in violently in between your hands. You transfer onto your fingertips. We find runner's lunge. Your left foot lifts off the ground. Your left knee comes towards your chest as your right knee bends. Slowly as you need to, bring yourself up to standing. Left knee to chest. We rise. Can we flex that left foot as we do so? Stand nice and tall here. Lift and lengthen up out of your right thigh. Exhale, drive that left foot all the way towards the back of the wall. We hinge from the hip and come into our warrior 3 position. Squeeze the left glute to lift the left leg even higher. Make sure the shoulders are away from your ears. Maybe on this side, if you feel comfortable and want a challenge, you reach your hands either behind you or maybe in front of you, arms alongside ears for 3. For 2. Exhale, all the way back up to standing. Left knee to chest. Extend the left leg long. See how high you can get that left leg up without leaning back for 3. For 2. Last one here. Left knee comes to chest. Let's slowly, slowly send that left foot back. Nice big step. Foot comes flat on the ground. We then find our warrior 2. Adjust the feet if you need to. Take a moment to sit a little bit deeper before you flip the front palm. Inhale, reach forward. Send that right hand to the sky. That left hand hooks behind your lower back. Good. Exhale, find your warrior 2. But then straight away interlace your hands behind your back. Webbing to webbing. Remember, bend into that right knee a little bit more. Inhale, send the chest to the sky as you pull your hands away from you. Exhale, bring your body down into the inside of the right thigh. Humble warrior. And this is a pose that's challenging your heart. Your head is below your heart here. So your blood is pumping in a different direction to usual. This is an inversion. Maybe on an exhale you take yourself deeper, or maybe you listen to your body and your breath. If it's laboured in any way, maybe you back off for 2. And the last one here. Use your hands. Exhale, pull yourself up. Warrior 2. Good, flip your right palm inhale, reach forward, send the hands to the ceiling. One last reverse warrior. Exhale, here we windmill the hands all the way to frame your right foot. Let's step back to plank. Take a vinyasa if you're choosing. Exhaling to lower, inhaling to rise. Exhale, we find child's pose. Take a deep breath in here by nose. Sigh all the way out. Inhale by nose. Sigh out by mouth. Nicely done. From here we're going to start to work a little bit more into our shoulders and our back. I want you to separate your feet a little bit wider than hip width apart again. Position quite similar to what we did before at the very start of our warm-up. Take a moment here to maybe have a bend in your right arm, maybe not. So you might bring your right arm a little bit closer to you. And inhale, send the left hand high towards the sky. Instead, this time I want you to interlace your hands and try to catch the inside crook of your right hip. As you press the right arm down, lift your left shoulder up. Maybe you reach the hand forward, lifting the elbow off the mat to get a very deep stretch into the inner arm for 3, for 2. Last one here. Exhale, come all the way back down. Take a moment, reset. Then maybe bend your arm to begin, draw the elbow closer to you, inhale, send the right hand high towards the sky. This time let it catch the inside crook of your left hip and lift your right shoulder up to the ceiling. Left arm can either stay as it is, or your left hand can start to reach away from you, peeling the elbow off of the mat for 3. Keep on pushing actively through that left arm for 2. Last one here. Exhale, come all the way back, find child's pose. From your winding child's pose, take your hands into a prayer-like position above your head. We're then taking them behind our neck here. That's the word I'm looking for. The hands are behind your neck. As your elbows touch the floor here, this will get deeper of a stretch into your triceps. As your elbows are touching the floor and your hands are touching the nape of your neck, you'll get a deep stretch into your triceps. From here, walk your hands a little bit further back towards you so that you come into an all-fours position. So bring your knees now underneath your hips, come into all-fours. Take an inhale, send your right hand high towards the ceiling, lift your fingertips all the way up towards the sky. Exhale, bring your right hand all the way down to the ground. Start to bend your left elbow so that your torso almost touches the ground or completely relaxes on it. We're not relaxing into this posture though, we're actively pushing with our left hand into the mat and reaching the right fingertips forward, my apologies, it's forward for me, over towards your left hand side for 3. This creates a stretch within the shoulder for 2. Last one here, press through that left hand to lift yourself up, inhale, right hand high towards the sky. Release it back down to the mat, inhale, send the left hand high towards the ceiling. Exhale, thread that left hand between the gap between your right hand and your right knee. Press through that right hand. Actively reach your left fingertips to the right side of the mat for 3. For 2 breaths here. The last breath here. Exhale, come all the way back to your all-fours position, sending that left hand to the sky first of all. Then walk your hands slightly forward. They might come off the edge of the mat as you allow your chest to lower down towards the mat. This then comes into our melting heart pose. So tailbone is quite high towards the ceiling. Chest might rest on the floor for some, or might be hovering off there. Your forehead could be on the mat. One cheek could be on the mat. Or your chin could be on the mat. If you are on one cheek, change over to the other. You should just enjoy enjoy that gentle compression into your shoulder blades, opening through your shoulders. Bring your head all the way back to the centre of the mat. Walk your hands back towards your knees. From your all fours, bring yourself onto your glutes. And swing your hips all the way around towards the front of the mat, ready for our Paschimottanasana. So you'll see here, naturally I curve a little bit in my spine in my forward fold. So I want to make sure I'm as straight as possible before I get into this. Take your hands just either side of your hips, lift your hips up and scooch them back. You'll notice that I start to fold forward already. From here, lengthen your spine, sit up as straight as possible, you're ready to go. Take your knees and bend them in towards you. For this variation, we're going to hold onto our big toes here. Good. Every exhale, you're just going to move your feet a little bit further away from you. Every exhale, same thing again, same thing again, same thing again, until you get to the point where you feel your spine rounding, at which point I'd like you to back off a little bit and maintain that straight spine. Lengthen the crown of your head up towards the ceiling. Inhale, find some length in your spine. Exhale, without moving your spine, can you inch your feet further away from you? Inhale, find length. Exhale, continuously pressing your chest through your shoulders. Can you move your feet further away? And you might do this 1 or 2 more times, or you might hold the posture in this super active stretch. For your last few breaths in this posture, I'd like you to let go of your feet. Extend the legs as much as possible, and just allow your upper body to relax down, crown the head towards the ground. In your passive posture, you might choose to actively sway your upper body from side to side. This can feel really nice across the fascia along your back. You might choose to alternately flex and point your feet, and just notice how that changes the stretch for you as your whole back body folds. Good. Slowly come back through center and use your hands to inch yourself to a more upright seated position. We do the same kind of combination between an active and a passive stretch in our butterfly. So bring the soles of the feet together. You might scoot your glutes a little bit closer towards your feet. You want to have a loose diamond shape. It does not matter how high your knees are. They might be like this. They might be almost touching the ground. But do take your hands and just place them around the tops of your feet, ankles or lower shins. Inhale, find that length in your spine. Exhale, if you need to, shift your glutes back a little bit more. So you start to come into that folded position. We start again. Inhale, find that length. Exhale with a straight spine, bend your elbows. So that this encourages you to hinge from your hips. Keep on pressing your chest through your shoulders. Inhale, find length. You might back off a little bit. Exhale, we then fold a little bit deeper. Inhale, find length. Exhale, fold that little bit deeper. Good, and we're going to hold this active version of the stretch. Keep on being with a lovely straight spine for a couple more breaths. Good, always breathing in and out by nose. Last breath here. Then allow your spine to completely curve. Your hands are now not holding onto your feet anymore. Your head is heavy. Just like we did in our Paschimottanasana, our forward fold with straight legs, you might choose to gently rock from side to side. Use your hands to guide yourself into a more upright seated position. Nice and slowly. Take your hands behind you, cross your knees, bring yourself onto an all fours position. You're then going to slide your feet back and lie in a prone position here. So take your elbows onto the mat. Your arms are in a number 11 shape in front of you. The closer your elbows are to your shoulders, the more intense a back stretch this will be. In our Sphinx posture, we're looking forward. We're lengthening and pressing up and out of our arms so that we feel a stretch across the belly. You might take the gaze all the way over your left shoulder. And then bring your gaze back through center. Take the gaze all the way over your right shoulder. Exhale, come back through center and release your elbows away from the mat. Create a pillow with your hands to create along your forehead and gently rock your hips from side to side. From here, we take our hands now underneath our shoulders. Wing your elbows all the way up towards the ceiling. They're nice and close to your rib cage here. Take a breath to prepare. Ready for your next inhale after that, where you squeeze your shoulders, lift your chest, and there is little to no weight in your hands. You could lift them off the floor and you'd stay exactly where you are. Holding for 3 breaths here. You're still holding the position, but not holding the breath for 2. Last one here. Exhale, we release the hands all the way down. Bring your head down to the mat. Maybe create that pillow for your hands. Maybe shake the hips from side to side. Then from here, a slightly deeper back bend. We're going to take our hands either side of our body with our palms facing in. We're going to take a breath to prepare. Ready for your next inhale by nose, where we lift our head, neck, shoulders and legs. So the whole back body is working now. Every new inhale, I want to see if you can lift yourself up higher. Every inhale, can we lift the legs, the chest, the head. Every new inhale, higher still for 2. Last one here. Exhale, bring yourself all the way down with control. Create that pillow once again. And if you need to, sway your hips from side to side. Now for this next posture here, you've got the option. You can either repeat locust, which is the position you just did, or cobra, which was the one before that. Otherwise, if you want to take it up one more notch, you can bend your knees and catch your feet from the outside. If you don't comfortably catch your feet from the outside, consider doing one of the other positions. They're both excellent back bends. Whichever position you're preparing for now, we're all going to take a breath in to prepare. Ready for your next inhale after that, where you lift your legs, maybe your head, your neck, your shoulders, for everyone. Good. If you're in your bow, you squeeze your glutes to lift your legs a little bit higher for 3, for 2. Last one here. Exhale, we release super slowly, whichever position we're coming out of, and everything relaxes down to the ground, again creating that pillow for your forehead. Keeping your head here on your hands, bend your knees so that they're roughly a 90-degree angle. You might not be able to see them. And just take them over to the right hand side and back through centre, over to the left and back through centre. So we're just moving our legs in the sockets just a little. Should feel quite nice as well on the front of your pelvis. Before releasing the feet back down to the ground, you're going to use your hands to prop yourself onto your forearms and come and flip yourself like a pancake in a pan to come into a semi-supine position. That's the one. Relax your shoulders, tuck them all the way down your back. Create that slight double chin here so that the back of the neck is long as well. Take a breath to prepare, and as you do so, press your lower back into the ground. On your next inhale, draw your tummy button to spine, lift your hips, your lower back, your middle back off the floor as we come into our bridge pose. Now you've got the option of staying here in bridge, Or if you wish to, we start to work into our glutes by shifting the weight towards the right foot without the hips lowering, so the left foot high to the sky. Point the toes, lift your hips up, and keep on breathing. Gently lower the left foot down to the ground. Same thing, second side. Inhale, right leg lifts. Your right toes are lifting you up. Hold for 3 breaths. For 2. Last one here. Gently release your right foot down to the mat. Slowly, slowly draw your hips. Lower back, middle back, down to the mat. And take your knees from side to side like a pair of windscreen wipers on a car. And then hug your knees towards your chest. Give yourself an indulgent hug and a squeeze. Maybe continue that rock from side to side. And you can either stay there, or you can take hold of the backs of the legs and just release out the ankles. You might take the knees a little bit wider in your chest as you do so. There's no set thing here. Perfect. Take your knees to your chest and your arms all the way out to the side at shoulder height. Float your knees over to the right hand side. If your right knee doesn't comfortably touch the ground, consider moving the knees further away from your torso. Take the gaze over your left hand. And take a deep breath in by nose. Let it go out the mouth. Exhale, come all the way back through centre. Use your core to draw the knees towards the chest. We do the same thing on the second side. You might notice that I've got my gaze over the opposite shoulder, so on this side we take our gaze towards our right fingertips here. Maybe allow the eyes to soften or even close at this point. So we take a deep breath in here. Let it go. Exhale, come all the way back through centre. Float your feet down to the ground now. Maybe take them slightly wider than hip width apart and allow your knees to knock in towards one another. You're more than welcome to do the exact opposite of this motion and send your knees out wide to the side, the soles of your feet together. Or you can extend your legs super long and come into your full corpse pose here. I want you to once again re-tuck your shoulders away from your ears, and I want you to very gently use your fingertips to lift your head and neck off the floor. Tuck the chin to your chest. Keep that tuck as you gently replace the head down towards the ground. Allow your hands to find your navel, your abdomen. Interlace your fingers lightly, not webbing to webbing like we did in other postures. And now I want you for your Shavasana, whilst you're in it, to follow your breath. I want you to take a deep breath in by nose. And let it go out the mouth. Deep breath in by nose. Exhale out by mouth. Notice as you breathe in how your belly rises, your fingers separate. Exhale, fingers come together as belly softens. Allow your breath Don't find any need to control it. Just let it be. Allow your jaw to relax. The muscles of your face to relax. Let every part of you relax. In your final relaxation, your Shavasana. Bring your awareness to your breath. Bring all of your focus in to your breath. Start to deepen your breath. However you find yourself naturally breathing, all you need to do is slightly elongate your inhale, and your exhale will follow. Send that energy around the body so that you start to wiggle your fingers, your toes, and circle your wrists or your ankles. Start to bring your awareness to your breath. Notice your breath and deepen it. Elongating your inhale, your exhale naturally extending with it. And as you start to energize from the inside, send that energy around your body, wiggling your fingers and your toes, and circling your wrists and your ankles. Interlace your hands up and over your head and point your toes so that you send that energy all the way from the very tips of your fingers to the tips of your toes. And then very slowly gather your knees in towards your chest. And give yourself a rock from side to side. Side to side. Don't be shy about going all the way over, nearly onto one side, and all the way over to the other. And then gently roll yourself all the way over to one side of your choosing and find a fetal position here. Take a few moments in this posture. In your own time, bring yourself up to a comfortable seated position, keeping the eyes closed, the spine long, the shoulders soft and away from the ears. Take a moment here to bring your awareness to your intention. what you hope to get out of your practice. And hold that intention in your mind's eye. Before bowing your chin down towards your chest and acknowledging your practice, acknowledging the incredible things that your body can do. And thanking yourself for doing something to take care of it, to nourish your body today. Take a deep breath in by nose. Let it go out the mouth. Take one more of those if you need to. And when you're ready to, gently blink your eyes open towards your lap. And when you're ready, bring yourself back into the room. Thank you so much for practicing with me and coming through this vinyasa flow practice. I hope you enjoyed, and I look forward to practicing with you either online again or in person very soon. Thank you so much.